Hello, everyone. This is Sam here from Inclusion Tube interviewing Amy from Inclusion Tube. She's the founder, one of the founders and leading members of our cause, and we're about to tell you all about that today. Which leads to our first question, Amy. What is Inclusion Fest?
Inclusion Festival is the nation's first and only sensory-friendly music and wellness festival. So it's designed with consideration of the challenges of people with autism, but it's for everybody.
What do you mean by everyone? Everyone in the disabilities community or everyone in the world?
Everyone in the world. Inclusion Festival is all about inclusion, and we know from research and experience and just belief about what is true and right that inclusion benefits everyone. So when we share spaces with people who are similar and different from us, everybody benefits. So the idea of Inclusion Festival is to bring people from all different walks of life together in one space, to find commonalities and to experience leisure and wellness activities that are appeal to many different ages and abilities.
Very, very cool. So what got you started? What got you started on creating such a concept?
Um, I'm a speech language therapist and previous special education teacher, so I've been working in that field for a very long time. And meanwhile had been attending many music festivals, and discovering like the power and the joy of live music transformed my own life. And I started to notice when I started to share that aspect of my life with my students and with my clients, little bits and pieces here and there, the music, the moving with the hula hoop, um, it was so well received. And I wanted to create create something that would let me share what has been so beneficial to me with people who may not otherwise be able to access such an experience.
Very cool. So, walk me through the process. So, the last 2 years, Inclusion Fest has happened at Mountain Sky. How did you find Mountain Sky, and how did you get them to agree to hold your festival?
That's actually a pretty cool story. Leah Barron is the co-founder of Inclusion Festival, and at this point, a very good friend of mine. She's a special education and a yoga teacher, and before we met, we'd been having pretty parallel experiences, working with people with autism and other special needs, attending lots of live music festivals and shows, and really had the same idea. And when we met, we realized that we should really put this idea in action, and we were so glad to find one another. Um, and Leah discovered Mountain Sky, the venue. She went there kind of serendipitously when another festival that she was going to attend was canceled. And Mountain Sky posted on Facebook, if you were going to go to the canceled festival, like come on up and camp at our beautiful mountaintop. So she went there. The first person she met was a young man named Max who has autism. And it just felt right. She felt like she was came there for a reason and discovered a community of people that would support this idea because of their fondness and their familiarity with Max.
Very cool. So what is your biggest dream for this festival? Do you plan on just keeping it Mountain Sky, or are you planning to expand it at all?
Both. We feel that we have a really nice start at Mountain Sky. We think that it has such an amazing it's such an amazing setting. So for this time, we plan to continue at Mountain Sky while also expanding what we do to other formats and other venues. So this year we're planning some additional inclusive concerts and day-long events that are not that are less than Inclusion Festival, and that they're a shorter duration of time, but that they have the same purpose and the same, kind of vibe and the same takeaways. And we also have another community program called Inclusion Dining that's really growing in particular so far this year, where we create sensory-friendly dining experiences at local restaurants. So that's kind of taking off throughout our home base, which is in New Jersey. And inclusion zones, we go to other festivals and community events, and we host sensory supportive spaces and share the ideas and what we know to be true about the value of inclusion that way as well.
Very cool. Very cool. So where can we find all this information about upcoming events, such as inclusion dining and these little day versions of Inclusion Fest?
You can find everything on our newly updated website. I'm very proud of our website. Inclusionfestival.com/events is where you'll find the events, but I hope you stick around longer and explore everything we've got on there. We've got an online magazine with lots of articles I've been updating regularly.
Very cool. What kind of articles does your website feature?
So the idea is that they're health and wellness articles that could benefit everyone, in addition to education about different types of disabilities and abilities, so that there's something for everyone. There's information specific to people that are impacted by special needs, but most of the information has the potential to benefit everyone, just health and wellness.
Very cool. As someone who has contributed to this website,
Yes, you
how
have.
can other writers with disabilities contribute to the website?
First of all, thank you so much for contributing. I think that your voice and your perspectives add so much value to what I can offer, and I'm really grateful that you're a part of this. Um, Others interested in contributing can simply email me with an inquiry or with a proposal or an article at inclusionfestival@gmail.com.
Very cool. And what kind of topics are would you be interested in hearing about from these writers?
Personal experiences are always really awesome. Personal experiences that have in some way taught you something or transformed your perspective in a positive way. Anything that you think could support someone else's health and wellness, someone else's journey, um, whether you're, just talking about a personal experience or you're a professional talking about what you witnessed in someone else.
Yeah, yeah. And as someone who's been to both festivals so far, there's a lot of different kind of vendors. Can you tell me a bit more about these vendors, like how you find them and what kind of vendors you're looking for currently?
Yeah, thanks. We have an application process. So shortly, once we announce our date for next year, you'll be able to apply to be a vendor. We have a combination of information vendors and product vendors, and we take pride in curating them, very similar to the things I just said about the magazine, with consideration for the challenges of people impacted by special needs, but really looking at the ways that different wellness services can impact everybody, because we all need self-care and we all need community support and connections, and to take time bettering ourselves. So
Hmm.
um, things like yoga practitioners, and we had chiropractors and massage therapists and special educators. We've had speech therapists participate and share information about their services. We've had members from nonprofits that serve individuals with special needs come and share the community programs that they offer year round. We had a really awesome group that are advocates for mobility, and solve problems regarding mobility issues. They came and navigated their way around the mountain with such wonderful spirit, and I found them to be really inspiring. Um, and another woman that's come both years that's super cool, is from the United Cerebral Palsy Association, and she shares all of these amazingly innovative ideas about solving problems, for that come up in daily life for people with all different types of challenges, whether it be a visual challenge or a hearing challenge or a motor planning challenge. So those are some highlights.
Very cool. So, what do you consider like the biggest challenge for Inclusion Fest today, and how can people get involved to help the festival grow and get bigger?
Spreading the word, attending, donating, all of those things help a lot. Whether it's a small personal donation or even referring us to somebody that that might be interested in being a sponsor or an ongoing supporter. Inclusion Festival is a nonprofit event, and we're also doing as much as we can to grow what we're doing by offering these other inclusive community events on a year-round basis. So um, it really takes a team. So anyone that wants to be involved in any way, if this resonates with you, For example, inclusion dining has grown because we found a local therapy provider that wants to sponsor the events. So now we don't have to be the ones to go and attend every single event. They'll go and do that, and they have the knowledge to do that in a really great way. So if any of this resonates, whether it's an energy contribution or a monetary contribution or just help spreading the word.
Very cool. Very cool. Um, so, well, thank you for all the information. We'll end this interview the way I've been ending all new interviews on Inclusion Tube. What does inclusion mean to you, and what is the overall message of Inclusion Festival?
To me, inclusion means taking the time to understand and accept people for exactly who they are, and realizing the value in learning from one another, meeting them exactly where they are. There's so much research that supports the value of inclusion. When we learn with people who are different, then our own ability to understand ourselves improves. So it's such a profoundly positive impact on society, when we take the time to better understand others and in turn better understand ourselves. Then we can all do better. And that's what inclusion means to me. And Inclusion Festival is one platform for bringing people together and helping them, discover the value of inclusion and have a really positive experience to take with them as they go back to, the way that they spend their day to day.
All right, thank you, Amy. Okay, YouTube audience, I'm going to make a quick announcement here. We're going to be starting Amy's Hour every month, once a month, where Amy will continue to come on the channel to let us know the latest in Inclusion Fest and latest resources that she's offering. If you have any questions, leave in the comments below. And I will also post a link to Inclusion Fest when this is uploaded. Amy, thank you for coming on, and we'll see you next month for Amy's Hour.
Thank you so much. Thanks for taking on this project. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good one. Namaste.